I got this miter saw 4.5 years ago and it was solid, but there were definitely some drawbacks. Some issues were frustrating from the beginning and others didn't matter to me at the time but ended up causing issues. So I got a much more expensive saw, but was it a waste of money? When I first got this Ryobi miter saw, I was just getting into woodworking and I was ecstatic about the purchase. This little green saw could do no wrong. It could cut wood and I could finally let out my creative side and build things. But there was an issue which initially I didn't care about, but then I realized it would be silly for me to not take it more seriously. Dust collection. This saw has horrible dust collection. Like how Jerry treated that old lady horrible. I read some reviews and knew it was bad before I bought it, but I didn't care because it wasn't going to affect my projects. It was just going to affect a very minor thing, how long I'm going to live. And who cares about that? Not only is the dust collection bad, this bag literally does less than putty does on plane flights.
You want something to read?
No, I'm good.
And there's no way to attach a shop vac, at least none that I've found yet. But just for fun, let's see how duct taping my shop vac to the dust port does. Yeah, still not great. It's also really loud. How loud is it? It's so loud, it makes Stephen A. Smith seem like a low talker. But that's what hearing protection is for. What was most frustrating from the beginning was the inaccuracy of the saw. I had to keep adjusting the saw on a regular basis, and even then it wouldn't stay square. Was it so out of square that a little wood filler or glue and sawdust couldn't fix things? No. My build still came out pretty good, but not as good as they could have been. Even with this issue, I was still able to create things I wanted to, but sometimes assembly was a nightmare. Fairly often, I'd run into another issue, cutting capacity. And if you've tried the cut and flip method, you know it's darn near impossible, excuse my potty mouth, to get a perfect cut. So how did I fix this saw not being square and lack of cutting capacity? 2 words, crosscut sled. I started to make most of my finished cuts using a crosscut sled on the table saw, very similar to this one. I would still use my miter saw, but it was mostly to break down longer material to rough dimensions. This Kermit the Frog themed miter saw is great for breaking down 8 to 10 foot boards into more manageable lengths. But there were times, for whatever reason, that I would use my miter saw for cutting my pieces to their final dimensions. Maybe my table saw was full of stuff, or my crosscut sled was full of stuff, or my miter saw was just easier to get to. But then I soon realized that I was getting tear out, something my new miter saw company thought of and fixed. And we'll get to that in a minute. So I made a zero clearance insert plate, or ZCI as the cool kids call it, and it technically worked, which is the best kind of worked, but it was tough to finagle it in there. You see, the space where the insert plate goes is only about 1/8 of an inch deep, so it was tough to recess the screws into the wooden ZCI, but I got it done. I will say this saw did not break once in all the years I had it, which is something. You may be asking yourself, Self, why does Baby Yoda look so new when you said you got it years ago? Yes, I have used this saw for years, but not this exact saw that I'm touching in a very weird way at the moment. I got this exact model years ago, but when I got my new blue saw about 7 months ago, I gave my old saw away, like an idiot. So I bought this guy a few days ago so I can make this video. You're welcome. The nice thing about Obi-Wan Ryobi is that it only cost $130 when I got it, which is very affordable. That's a lot cheaper than my new saw, which costs $650. Yeah, that's a bit of a price jump. Is it worth it? Let's unpack that now. Am I going to keep talking in questions? Probably. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Before I explain whether this saw is ultimately worth the money, I do want to say I'm very grateful that there are cheaper saws like this one available, because it allowed me to start woodworking and then turn that woodworking into a business. But my business would have done much better sooner if I would have used Skillshare from the beginning. Skillshare is an online learning community where you can take classes by industry experts like this one, which will teach you all about starting a creative business. You can learn about marketing, starting an online presence, building your website, using social media, building brand awareness, and everything else related to helping your business. You already know how to build things, and this class will teach you all the other stuff to make sure your business is successful. But if this topic does not interest you, they have classes on crafts and DIY, film and video, productivity, personal development, and so much more. Skillshare really can help you take your skills, hobbies, or side hustle to the next level. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can get started today. Just like with my old miter saw from Fisher-Price, when I got this Bosch 12-inch saw, I was so excited it could do no wrong. It's like I had new tool rose-colored glasses. It had a larger cutting capacity, which I'll get into in a little bit, and was a little quieter. It really wasn't that much quieter, so it shouldn't be a big factor when making your purchase. But then I realized, although the dust collection was better, it was not great. Had no company been able to fix the miter saw dust collection issue yet? I really didn't want to build a full dust hood like a lot of people do, because I didn't think it would work very well with a mobile base. But then I found a teeny tiny YouTube channel called Shop Nation. Give him a follow, it would really help him out. He released a YouTube video where he talks about a dust chute that he designed and 3D printed for this exact saw. After installing it, the dust collection was not perfect, but exceeded my expectations. It was so much better. Like how Snickerdoodle is a way better cookie than chocolate chip. Although it doesn't capture all the dust, and I haven't seen a system for the miter saw that does, it gets the fine particles which are the most hazardous. We'll talk about this mobile miter saw station in a second, but another improvement I needed because I had been starved for so long was accuracy. The funny thing is, out of the box, this saw from Pandora was way more out of square than the Princess of Ryobi ever was. The difference? It was much more user-friendly to calibrate and stayed square much longer. I did have to recalibrate this saw once, but overall it has stayed much more square than the Wicked Witch. It's really cool actually. It has directions on the saw of how to recalibrate it when you first get it. Now I can make finished cuts with this bad boy all day long. As you can see, because of your eyeballs, I made a ZCI for this saw as well, but it was kind of unnecessary. The purpose of a ZCI is to decrease tear out and prevent the teeny tiny cute little pieces of wood from going down into the saw. I commend Bosch for this next feature, and ironically, I didn't even notice the feature until I was in the process of making my wooden insert. They've made their stock plate adjustable so you can actually make it a zero clearance insert. On a side note, the DeWalt 779 is a comparable saw to this Bosch, but the dust collection is not quite as good and it's just as loud. And when you want to make angled cuts, you can widen it back. I should have said this at the beginning, but I paid for both of these saws. I actually paid for the Grinch here twice, so I am as free as Andy Dufresne to say whatever I want. This is the first time I've actually seen them right next to each other, and there is quite the size difference.
That's your big boy.
Like any miter saw, it's not nearly as easy or enjoyable to use without a solid miter saw station. My workshop is on the smaller side, so I need my shop furniture to be mobile. That is why I designed and built the king-size miter saw station. It has integrated dust collection in the form of a shop vac and foldable wings with T-track, so a stop block can be used for repeatable cuts. Whether you buy my plans or not, I encourage you to build a station with storage and dust collection. Don't just put it on a workbench. But hey, it's your life, you can do whatever you want. I also designed this compact miter saw station for smaller saws. Along with dust collection, the biggest improvement with Bluey here is the cutting capacity. It can cut 13.5-inch wide boards. That's like half of Dwayne Johnson's bicep. I rarely use that much capacity, but the wood I get from my local hardwood dealer is regularly 7 to 8 inches wide, so that feature is much appreciated. Although this is one of the biggest improvements, there's another one that I'm a little more excited for. I don't use this feature all that much, but when I need it, it's real nice. The depth stop. When I started out, I would see people cutting dados on their miter saw, and I had no idea how they were doing it. I quickly found out they had a depth stop, something my Shrek saw didn't have. Again, I don't use it all that much, but it's nice to have the option to cut dados, rabbets, or notches on the miter saw, or for whatever reason, if I don't want to cut all the way through the material, I can do that now. I'm talking a lot about how much of an improvement Papa Smurf is over the Ryobi, but I would not recommend it to everyone. I would actually tell some people to get the little green gremlin over here. Yeah, you heard me. Sorry, that was aggressive and I apologize. If you're just starting out and don't have a ton of cash to throw at tools, or you don't even know if you like woodworking yet, go with the cheaper one. Just wear a dust mask. It will do just fine in making things, and that's the whole point. You can always upgrade later. Going out and buying the more expensive one first could potentially prevent you financially from buying other tools or materials. You could also realize that for what you enjoy building, you don't need a miter saw all that much. I mean, a table saw and a circular saw can do pretty much everything a miter saw can do. Another reason to not spend a ton. Now, before you disagree, I will say for a lot of things, you do want to buy the more expensive one. Hand planes, chisels, toilet paper. But if you've been woodworking a while and you enjoy it, you use the miter saw fairly regularly, and you want to upgrade to a better saw in this middle tier, this Bosch 12-incher is a great choice. Yeah, I forgot to mention, this isn't even the most expensive option. There are other miter saws that are much more expensive, and I'm sure they're great, but too rich for my blood at this time. For me, this new saw was not a waste of money because I use the miter saw fairly regularly, and the upgraded features make a big difference for what I build. Is it perfect? No. Although the dust collection is much improved, it's not perfect. It's very accurate, but I did have to recalibrate it once, and it's still pretty loud. Is it worth $500 more over the smaller 10-inch Ryobi? I would say yes. All the improved features are great, but the most important one in my book is the improved dust collection because health is super important and I enjoy living. It's not the perfect saw, but 7 months in, I'm satisfied and I'd recommend it. It's safe to say you're in one of two groups. Either you have a miter saw or you don't have a miter saw and you want one. Either way, to get everything out of your saw, you're going to want to make some inexpensive upgrades. That is where this video is going to be very helpful. I'll see you over there, and remember, be kind, be awesome.